Hey guys, no one stole my radio or anything. This is me putting in my Pioneer into my Prius. So this is the Pioneer that I had in my Acura. Again, this is a 2013 model Pioneer. I can actually show you guys the back of it. But this is what the back of it looks like. And what I will be doing is having all the things plugged in here, my microphone, the outputs. These are 4-volt preamp outs, which will be hooking into a harness that I bought that should be coming sometime today. And this will allow me to hook into the JBL's 9-speaker system. And of course we have our antenna, which is this cable here, Motorola antenna. Luckily it's standard. The the Generation 3 Priuses, they, of course, they need to make it more difficult. So they put a plastic piece over this that makes it not fit, but it will fit into this radio. And also that's where the 9th speaker, which is up here, it's a center channel speaker. It wasn't as difficult, believe it or not. I was able to remove this radio faster than I was able to remove the radio in my Acura. You have this is the stock radio right here, which, as you can see, I mean, it's a piece of shit. But this is what it looks like, the harness, and this is the back piece of it. Very, very simplistic wiring. I only had the 2 connectors, and then I had the antenna. I'm pretty sure one of the connectors is for the XM Sirius whatever setup. I'm not too worried. Now, one of the benefits about this setup is there's so much friggin' space in this car to store the things I need to store. So I'm going to definitely be using some zip ties. It looks like I can wrap it around here. So I'll be able to put the Sirius XM tuner. I'll be able to tuck it there. I'm going to route the wiring, which again looks very promising. I'll be able to hide it underneath this panel. I'm going to have the dongle sit all the way up there, and the microphone exactly the way I had it set up with my Acura. So that's great. I mean, this is like a Lego car. Really, all I took out were these bolts. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9, 10. So 10 screws, and you get your radio out and you get the touchscreen out. So now, here's where it gets very tricky. One of these, I got to figure out which one it is. I think it's this one. Yeah, the pink and white wires. So it's 10. Yeah, it's one of these. There's a pink and white wire. It's this guy right here. You have to attach a resistor. If you do not do that, and this is very key, if you do not attach that resistor, your air conditioning controls and all sorts of other things will fail to work. So you have to definitely wire it up correctly. Now, one thing that's confusing me and is concerning me is the button controls on my steering wheel. One of the things we're going to discover in this project is whether or not the air conditioner controls, which there are the temperature, automatic, the defrost buttons, I don't know if those will continue to work after replacing this radio. I hope it does. I bought a kit that will allow these buttons to continue to work. And it's by access and it's automatic programming, so you don't have to worry about any of that. But again, it's a little challenging or confusing because I don't know exactly which wire it is I have to remove. And, you know, I'm just a little concerned. I'll definitely figure it out, guys. There's no doubt about it. But one of the harnesses is like brain dead easy because it just hooks onto here, and that's it. So you know, we'll see how it goes. I mean, these are the wires that go to the touchscreen interface. But yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to having my Pioneer back into this car. It's definitely something that I've sorely missed for a while. And I mean, just for shits and giggles, I mean, it's gonna basically just fit right in there. It's gonna be real nice having this again. So let's go on to part 2. Okay, well, after about 5 hours of waiting for the parts to come in, we're left with not exactly the way I want it, but basically, as you can see, we have the triangle of death, which is odd, is that sometimes when turning on the car it shows up, sometimes it doesn't. But basically, we got the setup all set up here, and I'm actually pretty impressed that it's working. Let's see. The setup just kind of sucks, and we're gonna have to use a flashlight because the lighting sucks balls, but that's what happens when you do it so late. But basically, I have the plate in, so you can kind of see that, and it all fits. But now we have this stupid warning light, so we have to figure out exactly what's causing it, what's tripping it. But the air conditioner, everything works. These lights on the steering wheel do not work. The lights don't, but the buttons do work. These don't. I bought the kit, but I'm returning it. I'm just going to use the volume control on the radio itself. But it does work, everything. It was a royal pain in the ass, but the thing that upsets me the most is just that red triangle that's lit up. Even though there's nothing really wrong right now, I just don't like seeing warning lights. So I'm going to research a little bit more, see exactly what's causing it, what's tripping it, and then we'll just let it be. But yeah, my car works now, and I finally have my music. You know, all the functionality now works in my car. So take care, guys. Look out for future videos. Okay, so I just woke up. I was really fucking tired, and yes, I did wake up at 10:46. It is New Year's Eve. This is not actually the song that's playing. The warning light's gone. So what it is that when I was testing out the radio, I had the parking button unplugged. I had various things unplugged. So the warning light's just basically saying, freaking out, saying, hey, look, you know, half the shit's broken. And that's not the case. Now, I did realize I did fuck up one thing, and mind you, I'm doing this in complete darkness with a flashlight, but the whole unit needs to come out a little bit. As you can see, it's a little too far in, but the rest of the unit works. So if you go, for instance, if you want to eject, and this is why it breaks, if you go like this, you see the whole unit cracks open. So you have to kind of like rip this off. I didn't put the clips in yet, but at least I have access to my thing. So then you just hit it. There you go. It just hits this nudge right here. So when it gets warmer out, you know, I'm talking spring, April, May, maybe, I'll take this whole thing back out and I'll adjust it. I rarely ever use a CD in here. I mostly use Bluetooth audio, and I use this radio a lot. But I am so happy that this thing actually works, and I have to say, I think I did a very good job. And just to let you know, yeah, these buttons do work. These, I was very worried. So what I'll do is I'll show you. I'm going to hit the button, and auto air conditioner is on. You can go to climate controls. Climate controls do work. If you hit audio, it'll say audio's off. But if you come here, it will work. And you can use the buttons to adjust the temperature. As you can see, the button is adjusting the temperature. I can put on the rear defrost. You'll see that. I could put on the front defrost, and that will work as well. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. Now let me show you the rest of the car, actually. This, I have to get a new 3M pad. I basically routed the wires underneath this panel with the power button. I also threw the receiver for the Sirius XM, I threw it over there. So it's very close to a window, and it works. I get perfect signal, actually. So if we go here, we hit Sirius XM. Just want to make sure the music's off because I don't want copyright now, because the copyright police have... This is so important. But as you can see, the signal is perfect, which is exactly what I was getting in my Acura. But yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying this. I'm happy. You know, it works with the 9 speakers. There's a little box you have to buy. It's called the Tato or Taito, whatever. It's a Toyota box that a company called Pack makes. It's this big, bulky ass box. I mean, it's huge. It's shoved. Everything is underneath here, and I left the storage bin so I can leave my phone in here while I'm driving. I also put in the glove box, I put the cables. So I have my USB and audio cable in the glove box instead of having them running on the floor. And that works really well as well. But yeah, it's 27 fucking degrees out. I was doing it when it was colder than that last night. My hands were fucking freezing. So I guess what happened was when I had the warning light come on, it was entirely due to the fact that I was turning on the car just to heat up with all the vents removed. That vent over there wasn't. But this one, which I have to say, I think I fucked this one up because it's not open. It's like halfway open, and this lever doesn't work anymore. So I'm gonna have to yank this off and fix that. But yeah, I'm really happy that now I finally have XM back in this car, because I'm telling you guys, like, the stock Prius radio has just AM, FM, CD player, auxiliary. It didn't have the XM tuner built in or any of that. You had to buy an extra adapter, which actually costs more than this radio. Excuse me, I am so fucking tired. So the other thing is that what do you call it? The radio didn't have HD radio, which HD radio does work, and I'll actually, I wish I could just give you guys a sample of this, but HD radio, when it goes digital, a lot of times you'll see the picture. So for instance, let me bring it over to a station that usually puts the artwork. It's usually 101.1, I think. Usually, one of these usually puts a picture. It's usually this one. But when it switches, it goes to analog, then it goes to digital, and then it will say, so now it will give you the information. This is all through the air. And then usually, I guess when there's a track change, the artwork, oh, there you go, see? Artwork popped up. So, HD radio is nice because it gives you the artwork and everything. Including AM. AM radio, believe it or not, sounds really, really good with HD, and the HD signal is perfect. The antenna that this car comes with is perfect for HD radio, as was my Acura. My Acura was the same deal. I had a friend who had a Nissan Rogue, and his HD radio wouldn't work for shit. And I think it was just a poor antenna or something, but it works perfectly here. And we'll just program this, of course. And you know, there's a lot of functionality. I love this radio. I really think this radio is great, especially the Bluetooth audio, which, you know, the main problem with the original radio was there was a lot of interference that the radio was receiving. So as I'm driving around and stuff on the highway, I was listening to the XM app on my iPhone, and the radio, for first off, the sound quality was shit. Second, you would hear a high-pitched whining sound coming through it. And that has a lot to do with unshielded cables and stuff, where it's receiving interference from the phone itself, as well as the electrical system in this car, because there's high voltage when you're braking the car or accelerating. You're using high voltage, so that also gives off EMF, which will interfere with simple things such as your phone. That's not a problem with this. You know, all you do is go here, you go to Bluetooth audio, and you're all set. These other lights light up when you light up things. So if I plug my phone in, Pandora will light up, or if I plug in my iPod, which I'm actually going to probably do that too, that will light up if you have a disc in AV. The backup camera still works. This is the other thing. When you go and you put it in reverse, backup camera still works on there. There are some people that say you can move it so you can put it onto this. I don't want to. I prefer to just leave it there. But everything, again, works as intended. So yeah, I mean, if you guys have any questions at all about the install, and this is something that really bugged me, was I really couldn't find that much information on the install. I really couldn't. It was always a bunch of people, know-it-alls, that just knew how to take the whole panels apart, but they didn't really know how to explain, okay, here's exactly the wiring harness you need to put the resistor on. They never explained how to put the resistor on. I accidentally cut the wire clean off, and I ended up just soldering the fucking resistor to it. I'll remove it eventually. I mean, if I ever sell this car, you know, I will remove this radio again. This radio will continue to stay with me because it's expensive, this thing. I mean, I think it was like $400, which is a lot for a radio, but the thing is that I expect to hold on to this thing for several years. So yeah, if there's any questions you guys have about this install at all, anything, where I put the dongle, which is directly behind the screen, I literally put it underneath the speaker. There was a space that was about this big, so I shoved the XM tuner in there, which, by the way, I was getting worried because when I first put it on, all of a sudden you would hear clicking sounds, and then it would say check tuner. I was like, fuck, did that break, you know, again? But actually, it turns out the tuner acts very funky if you're running off of battery. When the car's running, it works fine. Whenever you, what do you call it? Whenever you're running on accessory mode, the tuner just flips out. And it did it in the Acura as well, so I know it's not the car's fault. And now the car is finally getting warm. Yay. So, I'm loving this car. Look, you know, a lot of people make fun of Prius owners, and I will agree with you. A lot of Prius owners are complete nut jobs. I mean, they think they're saving the planet. They think they're high and mighty. Look, I don't feel that at all. I love the car because it costs so little to drive it. I went, I'm not kidding, I've gone 1,000 miles, and I'll show you the odometer. I have gone 1,000 miles on only 2 tanks of gas. 2 tanks, and the tank is about 9 gallons or so. That's all I've put in here. So the 2 times I filled it up was like $25. And, you know, right now I finally, you know, after 2 tanks, I spend the same amount that it costs to fill up my Acura, which is a 17-gallon tank and took premium, and I've gone more than twice the mileage. And that's exactly why I love this car. I love that, you know, there are times where I'm driving in certain towns, I don't even use a drop of gas. I'm strictly using battery mode because the speed signs are saying 25 miles per hour. So I could do 30 easily, just pure battery. If you're going uphill, yeah, you're going to use gas. But when you're coming downhill, you let go of the accelerator, the battery's recharging from just going down the hill. And also your brake pads, you don't go through them as quickly because when you're going down steep hills and stuff, lightly tapping the brake just puts more strain on the electric motor, which slows down the car. It's like an engine brake. And if you really need to stop, you know, just pushing down the brake all the way, yeah, it will activate the brake pads and you're done. So you don't go through brake pads as often either. You know, the car steers very well, and that was another thing that, you know, I was worried about, but it has such a great steering. Acceleration, after I replaced spark plugs in this car, I've had the transaxle fluid replaced, because it looked like fucking sludge, but now it's squeaky clean. And I replaced the belt on the motor. And what else did I do? Oh yeah, I got new tires on this car because they were pretty worn down. And now the car, like, as I said, handles beautifully and accelerates beautifully. And I have to say, if you're in the market for a car and you're looking at spending under $10,000 for a used car, you can't go wrong with a Prius. Yes, you're going to have people make fun of you, but you know what? They're making fun of you for honestly no real reason. There's a stigma attached to these cars because the first generation of owners were a bunch of tree huggers that, you know, put a bad name to this car. Look, you're not saving the planet driving any fucking car. So, you know what? You're saving the planet if you walk. To me, as I said, the beauty of this car is just how little gas this thing uses. And to me, that matters because I am cheap as can be. You know, I didn't enjoy spending so much on gas. And when the gas prices go up, I'm like, I don't feel the pinch as badly as other people's cars. So take care, guys. Look out for future videos. If you have any questions, again, about the radio install, if you have any questions about the car itself, I will definitely pop the hood, show it off. I will, answer any questions. And I have to say, I mean, it's definitely a great car. I love this car. I'm happy that the fucking warning light's no longer popping up, which was really pissing me off. And as I said, everything works.